Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure when I talked about that one being Jaws, deleted scenes, and Jaws 2, deleted scenes, why not this? But this one, I never knew it had deleted scenes or not, but I do know there've been different versions of it, being Jaws, 3D or 3. Now the first one was, we all remember the 3D one where the 3D Jaws flies out in 3D, you got the fish's head, and you've got the poor man's hand. Well, apparently there was two versions of the film. There was a 2D version and there was a 3D version. And I mean, this version there where you've got 2D and 3D. And I do believe there was also a work print version. Picture's not the best. There's a bit of dialogue that you never see. Again, the death scenes is not adoring. Remember the first death, where the Sheep G diver goes underwater and the shark comes out and you've got the famous floating hand. You don't actually see that in the work print one. And I do know there's another version out there where the death scenes are not as graphic, they're not as gory. You don't see the autopsy of the diver who lost his hand. You don't see the bit where the deep sea diver is getting eaten up by the shark. We don't see any of that. Which I do believe they did once say it on TV, but to be honest, I prefer it in its uncut form. And I do know now there's a different version. Remember the scene where the shark's going across the task and it goes in slow motion nearly at the end? They actually bettered that now. You don't see it. It looks a bit more believable and so on. So it's amazing, really. It's amazing how many different edited versions of Jaws 3 there is. There's the one where it's not in 3D, and the one where it is in 3D. There's a work pin. There's one where the death scenes are not as in your face, and the uncut one. There's a lot of different versions of Jaws 3 over the days and over the time. But I do not know if there's any deleted scenes like Jaws 1. We had loads and loads of deleted scenes. Jaws 2, there's loads and loads of deleted scenes. If there's any deleted scenes out there which people may have known about, please let me know. I'm kind of curious, like in 1 and in 2, if there is any deleted scenes out there. Now I do know that I'll get it over with. Jaws the Revenge, there's actually wasted money, not spent money, wasted money, which I'll talk about that bit more about the alter scenes, like the alter ending everybody knows about. The scene in, if I remember rightly, now there's wasted money making the shark look more believable than how it looked. I'll get to that when I get to Snooze the Revenge, but no matter what version's out there, I don't think anything will save that film. I really don't, but I'll get to that. But Jaws 3, I always remember the 3D one. Some people don't like it. I think it has a charm. And I do know now there's a Blu-ray version of Jaws 3 out there where they've bettered it. Again, the quality's not going to be the best. It's still not going to be the sharpest because it was made for 3D at the time. So you're still going to get the blurriness no matter what versions you get out there. But it still looks pretty dud. It looks pretty dud. And yeah, it's interesting. I'm not going to do this one as long as I did with 1 and 2 because again, I do not know if there's any deleted scenes. But it'd be interesting one day around the road to talk about other films, whether they're being, which a lot of people now know about. Like we all know there's a Blade Runner, a work print version. There's so many versions, it's unbelievable. We do know that there's deleted scenes in the original Lethal Weapon. We do know there's a different version of Commando in 1985. There's one where it's a lot more violent, the death scenes are a lot more gory, there's a lot more bullet splats in Commando. So again, sadly to say, I can't sew up, you know, copyright. But it's interesting if I could ever could do a comparison of all the sources. I would love to do that, So the comparison of the opening, so the positioning of the work pin. The picture's not the best. It does look a bit cheapy, faded picture. But it'd be interesting to see it. And I do know back in 1983, they actually did a making back in the day of Jaws 3. Making's more of a biography because you get a biography of all the different sharks out there. You get half an hour of footage showing different sharks, whether it be the tiger sharks, the hammerheads, all them different ones, including the great white shark. And so let's start an interesting one. If you ever see that biography, you can actually find it on YouTube. If you can get it now, it's a different story, but I remember seeing it back in the day. And like I said, they made the film in 3D, super 3D. You can actually see Jaws 3D. There's a widescreen version out there. Just made for anyone that loves to see it in its own widescreen version, which again you can get on DVD anyway. The one version I love to get is the proper 3D one. Because like most films, you can't get it in 3D. Which pisses me off. I'd love to see the original theatrical 3D version where you can get the original 3D specs. To give you that 3D feel, you know, you put them on, you see the film in its 3D form, brings memory lane to you. Because even though people don't like it, and somebody say it's good, you can see it's fake, you can see the 3D gimmicks. Them effects I feel different at time. Now I do know there's a version out there as well when the shark gets blowing up, you see the head flying about with the teeth here, there, everywhere. There's a version now where you don't actually see that. But I like that. I like that. It's just at a time, it's just that old stew feel. I like that. I'm a sucker for 3D gimmicks. Bite me with the shark. I love it. But it's interesting to know there's different versions out there. Like I do know there's a Superdome. Remember the film Superdome? There's actually a Dutch version where there's actually a lot more longer scenes. There's a lot more of Superdome. It's a different edited version. And I'd love to see that full version. I don't know if it'll better the film, because a lot of people will a bit with Superdome. Like the Superman the movie, there's a lot more of a longer version of that, which I've heard about. So if anyone wants me to talk about footage of films that they've never known, be interesting to talk about, let me know. But yeah, I'm not going to do this one this long because I do not know, and I'll keep repeating it, I do not know if there's any deleted scenes of 1 or any deleted scenes of Jaws 2. What's come out, I do not know. But it'd be interesting to figure that one out. But into them people, be smart, be safe. Eventually I'll talk about the film I love, being Jaws 3. I'll talk about the reasons why I fucking hate Jaws the Revenge. I'll talk about the different edited versions of that, because again, there's 2 different edited versions of that, just like the different versions of Jaws 3. But into them, be smart, be safe. See you later.